You know, actually something you practice and you rehearse these things, but when it comes to technology, just does its own thing.
Absolutely.
Right, now then, ladies and gentlemen, all of you that are listening on the on Facebook and in the group as well, I am so looking forward to you listening to this one because it's something that we overlook in life and in business, and we think sometimes it will not affect us, but everything that we think that will not affect us can have the ability to affect us in a negative way if we don't deal with it in a positive way. And so I really want to talk today with my dear sister. And let me just say, everybody, I want everybody to give a big hand, whether you're on Facebook or you're on here on Zoom. Jacinth is the one who said to me, Carmelita, we need to do this conference and support people. I said to her, Jacinth, I'm thinking of doing something. She said, let's just do it. So I really want everybody to just give a big hand to Jacinth for just pushing me and saying, Carmelita, come on, just do it. And now it's here and you are being blessed and benefiting from it. So please, just give God thanks. Right, yes. Jacinth. Let's drum roll for Jacinth. Jacinth is a transformational leader. She's a coach, she's an author, she's a mentor, and a sought-after inspirational speaker who runs 2 companies, Inspiring Hope and JacinthIV.com. With her 25 years of experience in her field, she works with senior leaders to develop and help them to achieve their goals. Utilizing her experience as an executive and non-executive director in the public sector and chair of an award-winning charity, Jacinth works with corporate entities, training and consulting, and is known for her experience in diversity. She'll tell you why. Inclusion, organizational development, and corporate culture transformation. She's the author, and we're going to talk about that today. It's okay to be different. How many of you feel different from your sisters, your brothers, your colleagues? You feel different and you think, what's wrong with me? Which helps people to transform their mind, reignite their passion, and fulfill their dreams. She credits her success to having a strong Christian belief, being very clear and focused, and fostering strong relationships with others. And today, she is going to share with us, Daughters Arise. Let's welcome to the stage, Exalted London, Jacinth Ivy.
Thank you so much for that shout out. Thanks, Carmelita. Wonderful to be here, and it's just so wonderful, and we just give God thanks that actually, you know, when we're obedient to His word, this is what happens. So, thank you.
Listen, he didn't ask you, know, he said you're doing it. I love it. I love it. Right, Jacinth, let's talk. Daughters Arise.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Before we go into your story, what does Daughters Arise mean?
Daughters Arise was really pertinent for me, and it's from the Bible, and some might know it as Talitha Kum, and it's the story of when Jesus was surrounded by a crowd of people, and Jairus, the synagogue ruler, came to kind of look him out because his daughter was dying, and he wanted Jesus to heal her. And what was interesting was that when Jesus was on the way to Jairus's house, something happened. And he was met with a woman, or taken by surprise for a woman who had been bleeding for 12 years, the woman with the issue of blood. And both stories really kind of tell about Jesus's compassion towards the woman with the issue of blood and Jairus' daughter. But the thing for me was actually about one of the real themes of this passage was about faith. And faith that Jairus had faith that Jesus would heal his daughter. Yeah. The woman with the issue of blood who had been looking for, must have been every solution possible for 12 years. She knew she was unclean. She knew she shouldn't have been there. But yet she knew that if she could just touch the hem of his garment, that she would receive healing. She knew that. And so her faith, and it's that faith throughout adversity. Somebody's dying, your loved one's dying, you're dying, you know, you can't find a solution, but it was that faith. And so for me, that Daughters Arise is about have faith.
You just get up and get going, right? Then let's talk about your background, because you are this transformational leader, been in the NHS manager for how many years, diversity, inclusion, people calling you, you've got this amazing business right now, but it wasn't always like that. Talk to us through the process of getting to the point where you made the decision to change. What was going on? What happened and why?
You know, there are various touch points, and we all have them when we start to look back at our life and start to reflect on various parts of our life. I'm the youngest of 5 children, had a fairly good upbringing, Christian parents, really values led, but I always felt a little bit different. I was 3 years younger than my next sibling, and I always felt a bit left out. They played together and left me out, so I felt. I went to school. We grew up in a very white middle class area, so we were most often the only people that looked like us. So I went to school, which was predominantly white, predominantly middle class. And something happened at school, my primary school, when excitedly I took my maths homework to the teacher, who looked at me, got his red pen and said, "You will never make anything of yourself."
Jesus.
And that stuck with me. Secondary school, similarly, they pushed me in sports, not in academia. And didn't know what I wanted to do career-wise. Went into nursing. That was a challenge in nursing. I was told girls like you do very well in geriatrics. So, girls like you, my darling, they do very well in geriatrics or working in psychiatry. So wasn't obviously felt good enough to work in any other, not that there's anything wrong with their specialities, but wasn't good enough to work anywhere else. And there was just never anybody that kind of looked like me that was progressing. And all of the stories are really quite negative. But I progressed amongst the odds. And that was really interesting. So I got to a place finally that I thought I'd made it. I was a director in the National Health Service here in the UK, and I thought I had made it. Oh, the bullying started. The bullying started, the microaggressions, leaving me out of things, going into rooms and conversations would stop, making things really hard for me to get through and to the board meeting, to the point that actually I decided I was going to leave. And I left and set up my first business. I had no idea. I left without a job. I was a single parent, 2 children, mortgage, all of those trappings. And I left because I thought, if I don't leave, I'm going to go mad. And so I left without a job. And a very kind friend said, "Come and do a little bit of work for me." So I did. And that was the start for me kind of picking up a little bit here and a little bit there. And so all of a sudden...
You started making money. How did you...
I started to make money, and I called myself a consultant. I had a business, yeah, and I called myself a consultant because I believed I had to... I don't know whether it was shame, embarrassment, I don't know what it was, but something in me had to say to people, "Oh yes, I'm a consultant. Oh yes, I'm working with so-and-so." I had to present this front, not to say, "Oh, I'm not really doing very much." And it went really well, Carmelita. And then for those who are in business, for those who know, we had a huge economic crash in 2008.
Yep.
And I fell flat on my face. All the consultancy work dried up. I had no money. Savings went. I still had my 2 children, my car, my house, my mortgage, all of my bills, and no income, not a penny income. It got to the point where I had £10, which is $11. I had £10 that I had to go to the supermarket and do 1 whole week shopping for myself and my 2 children.
So to come from, okay, this is what you're supposed to be doing, to what this is what you did, to now, oh, I'm doing something else that I think I want to do, and then now to fall flat down with no money. So sort of that sort of roller coaster, which a lot of people are in, up and down, up and down, up and down. So you were at that point where you had nothing, or had very little, I should say. I mean, we always never have nothing, we had very little. in terms of tangible stuff? And then how did you pick yourself back up? Because a lot of people right now are in exactly that same boat because of COVID. Okay, how did you come up again? How did you get to this point where you are doing all this diversity and inclusion training and Inspiring Hope Limited, and how?
You know what picked me up? And I'm going to go back to that word shame and everything else. I knew I could not stay where I was. I could not stay where I was. When people are saying, well, what are you doing now, Justin? Where are you? I could not say, well, actually, I'm on government handout. I have no money. I've got £10 that, the bailiffs are knocking at my door, so I tell my children not to open the door. I couldn't do that. I could not do that. And I knew that I was good, that I was bright, that I was capable. And I had to remind myself, and as the Bible says, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. He makes no mistakes. Yes, when he created us. And so it's to go back to that point and pick myself up and say, so what have I got? It was like, what have I got in my kit bag? What do I know? Who do I know? What knowledge? What skills? Yeah. Start to look up and look out, because I realized, Carmelita, that I'd started to become tunnel vision.
I'm writing.
I wasn't looking to the right. I wasn't looking to the left. And I obviously wasn't looking too far ahead. And so my world was just kind of the immediate circle around me. And that's why, when I look back, that's why I ended up.
Okay,
place.
Stop right there. Why is it, you think, that a lot of Christians, even though sometimes God is speaking to us to change, and we know it, we still have tunnel vision?
Yep, we still have tunnel vision because we don't believe and we don't have faith. And we don't have the faith. God doesn't make any mistakes when he created us, none at all. And we go through this, we go through pain, we go through suffering, we have our valley days. And sometimes we think that this is it, that this is what God has for us. But no, God says, I know the plans that I have for you, and there are plans for good. God doesn't have plans for evil. Or anything else. And so we go through this pain and this suffering, but what we forget, if you think about a caterpillar's not, in a grub, it's not very attractive. It's, kind of crawling along the ground, doesn't look very attractive, but it goes through some stuff, doesn't it? It goes through some stuff to emerge as that beautiful caterpillar.
All right, so you were going through your stuff, and then from broke to money to broke, and then you start building yourself back up again. What did that look like? Tell us about that journey. What did that look like in building yourself back up again?
So what that looked like is that reevaluation of what have I got? So we've never got nothing, as you said, we've never got nothing. So whilst I didn't have much in terms of cash, but actually I've got a lot of knowledge, a lot of skills, a lot of experience, and I really started to look inwards, and I thought, actually, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. God's works are marvelous. Let me get myself back up and get out there. And it was, I say that, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I was very fearful. I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to go back to that place. But actually, I was in that place. So the only place for me at that time was up. And so what I did was, because I had disconnected from people because of the fear, because of the shame. And so what I did was to reconnect with some of those people who actually said, oh, but Justin, there's I don't know if you know about this little piece of work over there, or I don't know if you know about this opportunity.
So you asked for help?
I asked for help in a way that wasn't, I need help, but was in a way that kind of said, my situation needs to change. I'm ready to take on any opportunities. Do you know anybody who's doing? Do you know anybody who can? Can you connect me with somebody? What can I do for you? And it was about ask, but also give. Yeah, not ask. It's, what is it that you have to give? And sometimes, and as Christians, sometimes what we have to give is a listening ear, is empathy, is a prayer, is a touch, is sitting in silence with somebody, you know. So we always have something that we can give. And often we don't feel that way.
Somebody's in a position right now, they're thinking, I really want to build my business again. I want to grow my business again, but I don't feel as if I have anything. You're saying to them that you have things to give. You have, and it's being able to identify what those things are.
Absolutely. I have heard, so I listened in yesterday really keenly, and yesterday there were a lot of the speakers and yourself was talking about purpose. Yeah, and talking about purpose. And you know, I love this saying that says the greatest tragedy in life is not death. The greatest tragedy in life is life without a purpose. And it is seeking that purpose, and God's desire for you is to discover that purpose. Because actually, once you start to discover that purpose and that fire comes in your belly,
yes,
it propels you and pushes you, and opportunities, believe me, Carmelita, opportunities open, and it is as if the scales fall from your eyes.
And what is happening to you now? Because you've got this amazing business across the UK. You're probably one of a handful of people who does what you do. And had you not pushed yourself forward to and open your eyes to the opportunities, you would have been doing multiple six-figure business across the UK and successful, and people are coming to you. And you know what I like about you? You don't have to go seeking work. They come seeking you.
Absolutely. I have it. I have it in abundance. You know, and I have an abundance mentality that says it will come. It will come. I am open to opportunities and it will come. I don't think, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Where my work is concerned, I'm open to opportunities.
Amen.
And then I can see, is it right for me? Am I right for this piece of work? And so there has to be that synergy with what's doing. So I don't take work just for the sake of taking work, because actually part of my life's purpose isn't about about wealth creation. Wealth creation is as a result of. So I got into work around diversity because of the situations I found myself in, because actually there were more people like me who looked like me, or perhaps didn't look like me, that were having tough times, that were having challenging times at work or within their external environment, where actually workplaces weren't supportive, workplaces that were nurturing people. If you're different, if you're not part of the in crowd, if you're different, they weren't nurturing. And so I fell into this space and did a lot of work with people who were different, helping them to build their self-esteem, because the battering that had come, helping them to build their self-esteem, helping them to re-enter, if you like, into the world, you know, as somebody who's different. How do you re-enter into the world? How do you get to understand actually what the rules of engagement are? Really, 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 really important.
Let's come back to this. I want to come back to your book, because I must tell, I love that name of that book. It's okay to be different. Let me ask the question for those of you listening on Facebook Live as well as here. How many of you feel and know that you're different? And somehow you feel, because you're different, that things are not happening for you the way you would like it to happen. Okay? You heard Jacinth's story. We want to talk about how to use your difference to be a blessing now. How many of you, listen, you guys know that I am different. Seriously. I am so different from my family. Everybody, literally. I am different, and I have had to learn to embrace that difference. And it was hard. I'm just saying, I want to talk about that now. How many of you know and feel that you're different, and you feel somehow that your difference is holding you back, or you think it's holding you back? Comment and tell us no. And ask your question to Jacinth now, before we have to close off this section. Ask the question now. If you feel that you're different and you feel as if, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing, ask the question now. Just say, you wrote a book called It's Okay to Be Different. Acknowledge who you are, acknowledge it, and fulfill your dreams. Tell us about why. What is that about?
Because I felt, so when I reflected back, when I was in that valley, that place where, you know, there was very little cash. And then I reflected back, and all the time I recognized I was trying to fit in. I was trying to fit into an organization, to a culture, to a way of being. That just wasn't me.
Yes.
It wasn't me. And I sort of thought, I need to be authentic. I need to be who I say I am. I need to be able to walk in my shoes and not anybody else's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And back to that point that God made me, God created me before my parents conceived me. There is only one like me.
Amen.
Only one like me. There's only one like you, Carmelita. Only one.
Your husband will tell you, thank God.
Amen. but it was that recognition that actually there's only one, and the uniqueness, and to be authentically who we are, and how wonderful we are, fearfully and wonderfully made. God made no mistake when he made us, and it's getting that ingrained in yourself, that actually when you look in that mirror, you can actually look in that mirror, look at yourself eye to eye and say, Jacinth, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. There is nothing that you cannot achieve.
Because society today tells us we have to be like this person, or talk like this person, or act like this person, or this person is doing this, or this person is doing that. And society makes us feel that we have to be like this. This is what success looks like. So we have to coin it like that. And you're saying no.
But you know, if you look back at history, you look at inventors and creative people, they are all different. We sometimes say, oh, they're very quirky, they're odd, or you know, we hear of inventors and things who were dyslexic. Right. You know, they were different. They couldn't read. They didn't complete. Like Branson didn't have any O levels. You know, didn't complete their education. They were different, but that did not stop them, because there were things that within them, their creativity, they dared to dream. Yeah, and so it's that difference doesn't mean bad, which sometimes we think about. Difference does not mean bad.
Tell us about some of the principles in the book. What are some of the principles that people have? Guys, if you have a question, ask your question now. How many of you would like to get a couple of chapters of this book free today? How many of you want some of the chapters, just a couple of chapters free of this book? Not just a few. How many of you would like to get a few chapters of this book free today? And then obviously you could go and buy the entire book. Once you've read it first few, you'll realize, oh my God, I need to get the whole book. If that's you, you got to comment. Tell us yes, I, or something, and we will get you the link for that. Okay? Just share a couple of chapters, 2 or 3 chapters.
Yeah. I think we've talked about the first one, which is around acknowledging that you're different, and the next one is kind of discovering your why and your purpose. And I just want to say, in terms of your purpose, in Proverbs it says, many are the plans in the man's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose and counsel that will stand. And so what God is saying is actually that your purpose is more important than your plans. Sometimes we go straight to plan, straight to action, without thinking about what's our ultimate purpose. And our purpose is more powerful than our plans and has to precede our plan. So once we understand what our purpose is, our greater purpose, our higher calling. People say they want money. What do they want money for? What will more money enable them to do? Yes. What will it enable them to do? And how does that then make you feel when you're thinking about that? You know, I need more money. So yes, I've got to the point now where, you know, 6-figure plus income. But actually what that enables me to do is to have quality time with my family, to have quality time with my husband. It's to give back to my community. And I give of my time and my finances to my community. And so that's what I feel my purpose is to grow and develop women from who are broken. That is my purpose. Is to work with organizations to make them fair and more equitable. That is my purpose. The fact that I then get paid for that is wonderful.
Oh, wow. So hold on. Let's come back to that. I like that. I love that. I love that. You found your purpose. And when you found your purpose, you got paid. That's what it is.
That's what it, and that's what's paying me. So I have stuck with my purpose. I haven't veered to the right or to the left.
Whoa.
You know, this concept of shiny pennies, you think, oh, that looks interesting, I'll go off there, but actually it's taking you away from your purpose. I haven't veered to the right or the left. I've just kept myself focused. Keep your eyes on the prize. You know, kept myself focused.
Wow, I love that. When you found your purpose, you got paid. That's awful.
Yes.
I love it. Everybody's asking for the book. Okay, how many of you want the book? You got to comment. I'm not seeing enough comments, so perhaps you guys don't really want that. So kind of share it because you guys don't want it. So I'm probably not going to give it. I need to see more people saying yes, please. I want it, and then I will share the book with you now. Give us the next chapter quickly.
Okay, so the next chapter is be clear about where you want to go. So we talk about vision, and we know that in the Bible it says, without a vision, people perish. And it was Habakkuk who was in Jerusalem, really pondering the state of the nation. You know, kind of didn't like what was happening, really confused, and kind of openly questioned God. And I just want to say, it is okay to question God. You know, sometimes we think as Christians, oh, we mustn't question God. We mustn't challenge him. But it's okay.
Why? What do you mean? What? Give us an example.
Why it's okay to question God.
Give us an example of when you question God. What did you question God for and about?
I think I question God when I reach the, you know, shopping with £10. I question God. I question God. I have 2 of the most beautiful children, but I had challenges conceiving. I question God. My first marriage failed. I kind of said, but why? And you get this layering effect of questioning. But what was interesting, Carmelita, my sister died tragically 4 years ago. I didn't question God.
Amazing. Why? And you will, why?
I didn't question God. Amongst all of the angst and the pain and the distress, there was a peace. And I didn't question God. It was, you know, ours is not to question why. That's how I felt, that God knows why. I don't need to ask him. I believe in him. He knows why. This is not for me. And so, you know, and so I felt I couldn't question, and I prayed. And the thing about vision is that, you know, it's important to, you know, maybe you ask the question openly. Maybe you ask it through prayer, when you're asking God to reveal the reason why. But oftentimes what we don't do then is to wait. What Habakkuk did, he saw this mayhem and he asked and he prayed to God, but then he waited. He waited for God to download that vision. So it was God's vision. And so oftentimes what we do is we say, this is our vision. And whilst we may develop that vision, we need to pray on it and wait to hear what God says. And sometimes we pray. And one of the things I realized, I go to a Pentecostal church, loud, full of noise, but I was brought up in a Baptist church, which was quiet. And so I had to learn to find that quiet space in the noise.
Amen.
Yes. And so what we need to do is, how do you create quiet space where you can listen to God amongst the noise? Now, the noise may not be in church. The noise may be people telling you things. Yeah, the stuff that you're looking at, the things that you've got yourself involved in, the fact that you pray and you jump up straight away, or you pray you're onto the next subject straight away. That's the noise and the chatter. And it's when we can eliminate that noise, move that chatter, and truly wait on the Lord, listen. And sometimes, you know, I'll say, God, what is it you'd have me to know?
I was going to ask you, you said that. I was going to say to you, so what do you do while you're waiting?
Well, I do. I said, God, what do you want me to know? What do you want me to say? Talk to me.
I'm waiting like this. I'm waiting like this. I'm waiting. Okay, I'm waiting. Yeah. I'm waiting. I'm working, but I'm waiting. I'm not just, and I find it's hard sometimes because I'm a control freak. I like to get things done. You know what I mean? And I'm waiting, and I'm like, well, what do I do?
But you continue. That's what you do. You continue, because God will drop it. It'll download. God will drop it. And talking about download, a few weeks ago, a sister was praying with me, and she said, "I sense you need a restart." And as this is a few weeks ago, and I was thinking, restart. I'd been ill, and restart. And I, she prayed, and I thanked her. And I went to Google, and I loved Maureen when Maureen said yesterday, "Don't Google it, Bible it." But I went.
I didn't listen to you. I tell you, I wrote it down.
But I went to Google and pressed looked at restart, and the analogy was amazing. And it was about a computer, and when a computer, it needs to be updated, so you press the button for the update. But in order for that update to be downloaded into that computer, to get rid of some of the old data for it to be downloaded, you have to restart your computer.
It's true.
Stop, press the restart button, the upload comes, and you can continue. And I thought,
yeah, wow. It's right there. That's a book. You're hearing me? That's That's a sermon. That's a book. I see that. Yeah, I'm visually seeing that.
Yeah. And so, how many of us need an upgrade? And actually, God gives us that upgrade sometimes. But actually, what we fail to do is to stop and restart. Because if we don't stop to reconnect and restart to get the upload, but we continue with the old stuff, and we never get the new download. And that was a real revelation for me.
My God, that's so powerful. And that's why in your book, and guys, I've posted the link. Everybody go to the link now and download the book. If you're on Zoom, if you're on Zoom or you're in the group, I've sent the link. The link is just on top of all the information. Just click the link. It says Jacinta Ivy. Click the link and go and download the book now and reach out, because you really want to get that to fully understand what Jacinta's saying. Okay, how many of you have gone and you've gotten the book already? Just click and download it now. She's speaking from a Christian perspective, but from a business perspective as well, about why it's okay to be different. All of these principles, how to acknowledge who you are, how to truly acknowledge and to fulfill your dreams. Because the only way you would get to the point whereby you're truly living in purpose, you got to know where you are and what you need to do to get there. And this book will tell you to how to find out where you are, and then principles on how you get there. So you download it, click on it. If you've done it, tell me you have, and just let me know that yes, you're downloading it now. And it's also in the group as well. You give us one more chapter, Jacinta, really quickly.
Yeah, so the next chapter is choose to take action now. So we have our purpose, but sometimes we don't take action, or we don't take the right action. And if we think about, I love the book and the story about Esther. And we know about Esther, the young girl who became queen, and Mordecai overheard a plan from Haman to annihilate the Jews. And Mordecai went to Esther to say to her, you've got to, kind of thwart this plan. You've got to go and tell the king what's happening and thwart this plan. But actually in that time, that for Esther was, if she was to enter that court without the proper authority, she could have died. She could have died, she could have been beheaded. But Esther knew she had to take action. And so in taking action, she devised a strategy. And in taking action, and she said, if I die, I die. If I perish, I perish. But what she did was she took action. She prepared. She actually got people to pray and fast with her. And she developed a strategy for how she was going to enact that action that could have seemed really impossible, but an action that she knew she had to take.
Stay right there with that. Stay right there with that. For people who are the different, they've acknowledged the difference, they know that they're different, they don't know how, you're telling them that they need to devise a strategy.
Yes.
You help people devise that strategy. What does that look like? And it's something that you offer for Christians in particular.
I do offer it, and everybody's strategy is different. You cannot pick it up off the shelf. Everybody's strategy is different because everybody's purpose is different.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's understanding the purpose, and then what are the big things that you're going to need to overcome, that you're going to need to achieve to get to that end point.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not going to get to the end point. You're not going to wake up and be there. We're not going to get, so going back to the analogy about the caterpillar and the butterfly, you're going to have to go through some pain, perhaps. You're going to have to be squeezed and squashed. Mm. And it's understanding that actually, what is it I need to do to prepare myself for that? Esther prayed and she fasted to prepare herself to be squeezed and potentially to be squashed. She gathered people around her that she knew would support her. So, you know, who are your allies? Who are the people that can support you? Who are the people that can help you along the way? You have to look at what are the potential blocks and barriers. And so therefore, how do I mitigate against those? What is it I need to do now to try and navigate around some of those blocks and barriers? What are the milestones? Actually, when I get there, I'm going to just say, hallelujah, praise the Lord.
You make it sound so easy. You make it sound so easy.
It is persistence. I remember slow and steady wins the race. Yes, slow and steady wins the race. You get to point 2 and something happens and you get back to point 1. That's okay. You find a different route to go to point 2. Yeah, you learn what is it that you do. So the process may sound easy, but actually, you know, you have to be squeezed, you have to be squashed, you have to be willing. If you're not willing to take that action and willing to go on that journey, it's not going to happen. And the best ammunition to take with you in that journey is prayer.
Amen.
Is prayer.
Amen. Amen. So it's okay to be different. Acknowledge your brilliance. Fulfill your dreams. And that's how people can get that process and that journey together. I'm just typing into everybody the link to get the book. Get it now, guys. I'm just giving you the link again. Click the link right now, go to resources and get the book. It's also on Facebook. So all you need to do again in the group is just click the link and go and download it, get it now. It's okay to be different. Fulfill your, so I'm coming back to this word because I'm going to do something with this. Find your purpose, you get paid. How many of you would like to get paid more in 2021? Comment. If you're on Facebook Live, comment. If you are in the group and you are listening, comment. How many of you would like to get paid for your purpose in 2021 or because of your purpose to get paid in 2021? How many of you, that's the case? Type it in and say, yes, that's me. Yes, I want to do that. Yes, I want to make that happen. Yes, yes, yes. How many of you will say yes? Okay. When you say yes, you've got to take action. I'm an action taker. Click the link and get the book and let Jacinth know that you are ready to find your purpose so that you can get paid. How many of you want to get paid? I know I want to get paid.
If your purpose doesn't make you tingly, if your purpose doesn't excite you, it's not the right purpose. Your purpose has to fire, put fire in your belly. It has to have a real desire. You know, you wake up in the morning and you think, yes, I'm really pleased. I'm really happy to be doing X, Y, and Z.
All right. One question before we close off. Guys, if you got a question, we got just a couple of minutes and then we got to go. So I really want you to ask a question now. How do you differ? Now, property is, I'm passionate about buying property. You know that, right? I can buy everybody's house. I just love it. But that's not my purpose. But I'm passionate about it. I really like it. I enjoy doing it. I can close my eyes and do it. I get up out of bed and I'm going to view properties and I'm excited. I am fired up when I'm doing this because this is purpose for me. This is God thing for me. How do you differentiate the two? How do people find it?
But you say, so property,
I get paid on that one and I also get paid on this one. But that is not my purpose. This is.
But what is it then that the property enables you to do? So you have, through that, you're supporting families who are unable to purchase their own home. And I know that you're very careful about who you put in there, and you understand their backstory. So your values are always coming through.
Right.
Yeah. The person who God made Carmelita and Andrew to be, the giving, the sharing, the giving back, the support, the enabling, is coming through in your properties.
It's true. It's true. You didn't think about it. Somebody's done and stay with us for like 12, 13 years, and they would come and work for us now in things that we're doing. And he's on video, one of my tenants, he's on video, and he's saying, oh yeah, my landlords are amazing. I've been with them for 12, 13 years, and they look after us or whatever. And I mean, you're right, because we look after them, because if we didn't, they would have, they would have gone already. Yeah, I think this right here is a word, man. You find your purpose, you get paid. Whoa.
Yeah.
I like that.
And you know, that payment is going to come, as Christians, that payment comes in so many ways. Yes, financially, but the blessings that are poured down on you, the opportunities that are opened unto you are endless, are truly endless.
Amen. Amen. I love it. I love it. Wow, guys, you heard it here. If you've got a question, type your questions in, and we're going to take one question and then we're going to close off. We've got our other speaker coming on now. People are following. Nasha is also following. She's listening to you on in the group as well. So yeah, people are really excited about it. Guys, I just want everybody to comment. I know some of you are working, so you're sort of listening in the background. Tell me, what was your one takeaway from what Jacinth shared today? I know what my takeaway was. I wrote it down. What was your one takeaway from what Jacinth shared today regarding your purpose, regarding acknowledging your brilliance, fulfilling your dreams, understanding who you are in the scheme of things, making sure that you are in a place to always receive? You talked about that, being in a place to always receive and not being afraid to be open for what the Lord has, you know, for you. But the one thing I want to finish off with you, I know you work hard. Because some people feel, oh, well, I found my purpose. Hello, money. It will all come.
Yeah, that's delusional.
Give us the reality. From purpose to what to money. Give us the reality.
The reality is you have to put the work in. You have to put the work in. I set myself high standards. I set the bar high, because actually I wouldn't want anything less for myself. So I ensure I do not give my clients anything less, corporate client, private client, anything less. And in the work that you and I do, Carmelita, and a lot of other people, we're only as good as our last piece of work.
Indeed.
So the highest recommendation, of course, that we can get is from our Creator.
Indeed.
But actually it takes one or two people to write something negative on social media.
That's it.
And that's it. True or false, and that's it. And so I have to remain true to my word and true to my worth. And so you know, part of it is working, part of it is my own personal development. I don't wake up and I was able to do this. I have studied, I have reflected, I have prayed, I have trained. I continue to train and develop myself to expand my knowledge, so that I can be at my optimum to give to others. I look after myself physically, emotionally, spiritually, so that I can give to others. So it's a continuous journey.
I love that. I love that. And it's a continuous learning, and which is what I know you promote and you talk to people about, being in constant learning. Understand that you're right. You're good as your last sale. You're good as your last week. You got to be getting, as my American previous coach used to say, you got to get gooder and gooder.
Yeah, better and better.
Only the Americans would understand. You got to get gooder and gooder. And you're right, because you always have to be in constant learning, because it's not that God is the same yesterday, today, and forever, but we have to, that's what we carry on reading the word. Because you read it last month and this month you read it and you think, oh, I didn't get that. So you have to be in constant learning, constant building, constant all the time in order for you to get to that point. Guys, click the link and get the book. I'm going to just type it in there again for everybody. Click the link and get the book. Just go to the resources page, download 3 chapters, and reach out to Jacinth if you are at the point whereby you need to really fulfill your dreams, and you don't understand your purpose. And you're like, well, I don't even know what that is. Reach out to her. she has a real heart and passion to support people. She also has a membership. Do you want to tell us about the membership really quickly? I know that's going to be launched in 2021. Do you want to tell us really quickly?
Yeah, so the membership's going to be launched 2021 based on the 7 principles. So there'll be teaching around those principles, question and answer. We have a Facebook group, Acknowledge Your Brilliance, which you can join now. So Acknowledge Your Brilliance. You can join that Facebook group now. And so with the membership, so I said there'll be group conversations, training, and also as well, obviously individuals will be able to have one-to-one time with me. They can book one-to-one time with me separately to that membership. And we will also be having external speakers to expound on some of these principles and to bring in their perspectives as well.
Yeah, so that's the group. I'm just copy the group link there for everyone. I'm just going to put it on Facebook as well, so everybody has the group. Join the group today. Jacinth shares, and she has speakers coming on board, sharing. Let me just write it in so that everybody has it. And yeah, just join the group now. The more support you listen, you can't get enough support. You can't get enough training. The more you get is the more, the gooder and gooder you will become. The better and better you have become. Join the Facebook group now. Click on the link. It's free. And become a part of something that's amazing. I know Jacinth, you're going to be doing a lot more in that group in the new year with people about acknowledging the brilliance, fulfilling their dreams, and what to do with speakers. And you've got a conference that's in, I think it's February 2021 as well.
It's February 2021. Yes. So please go to my website, which is jacinthiv.com. Take the free assessment. Book in a discovery call with me. We can have a conversation, but also as well, that way we can keep you up to date with our events and what's happening. And of course, if you would like a hardback copy of my book, send me a message and we can get that sent to you.
Fantastic. Wherever you are in the world. So the opportunities are all there. Some people have actually gone on already while we're talking.
Fabulous, fabulous.
Which is really, really, really good. So I'm really grateful to sing. Leave us with some parting words, with some real nuggets, your own success principles from you will amount to nothing to you gone into something that you thought everybody wanted, to starting something of your own, to falling flat on your face and building your life back up again. That is a journey. Yeah. Give us some parting words. What you can do if they are in either any of those valleys or they're even on the mountaintop right now. What would you say to them? What is the continued process? What do they need to have in place always? I mean, what should they do to maintain?
I would say acknowledge your brilliance, that there is no power in playing small. The power is in acknowledging who you are created to be and that you are different. The power is in acknowledge what is within, and that what you need to do is to bring that out. Acknowledge your passion, your purpose, bring that out and show yourself to the world. Showcase who you are.
Some people will say, I ain't sure I want to do that. But again, you said it, you're right. It is not for you. It is so that you could be a blessing. And when you do it, you will be it.
Yeah.
You need to write that book, woman.
Yes.
I ain't asking you, I'm telling you.
We will talk.
I love it. Guys, let's give Jacinth a really big hand. Let's thank her for her time. I always make notes from you as well. I made so many notes about opportunities. I'm trying to fit in, finding your purpose. You get paid, taking action, the process, be willing to go on to the journey. Okay, you had tunnel vision, and tunnel vision wasn't helping you. You had to have God's vision instead of tunnel vision. Questioning God is not so much of a bad thing. Obviously doing it with grace and with humility. Growing yourself as a woman, being able to understand your difference, because indeed you are different, and we all have to acknowledge our difference in order to fulfill our dreams. Shireen said, it is okay to be different. Hard work pays off. Keep trusting, improving yourself, and helping others as you are led along the way. Thank you, Jason, for sharing with us. Oh, Shireen actually went and joined the group already. So just Shireen, well done on you for taking action. Well done. And guys, I want to remind everybody of the link to give, whatever you want to give, just please, the link is there. It's in the group. Share with everybody. Yeah. So yeah, so people are saying you're a blessing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. You're a great lady. You're a great lady of God. Wow. Somebody says you're a great lady of, he didn't say a woman, you're a great lady of God.
I receive it. Thank you.
Darling, thank you so very much. You are amazing.
Thank you so much, Carmelita.
You are amazing. You are amazing.
Being a blessing to everybody as well. So thank you. Thank you for spreading the love and spreading the joy.
You ain't got choice. God say you're doing it.
Bless you.
All right, darling. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.